That just looks a mess. I know it's all late. I'm all greased all up, my hair everywhere. Mm. I don't even know if that looks right. I don't even know. I don't got my glasses on. I'm on live. Okay, everything is just happening tonight. Okay. And I got to listen. Listen, y'all. I'm so sorry. This is what's happening tonight. It's happening. It's like I can't stop. It's really happening. Like my life and just being genuine who I am, and it's just this is it tonight. Everybody done got in the tub. Everybody done got ready for bed, and the night is still going in here, and it should not be. It should be really settled, and everybody's not there, and I need them to be. And somebody doesn't want that. Not even gonna show y'all. Nonetheless, just wanted to hop on tonight. Um, I don't know why I'm whispering. Just wanted to hop on tonight though, real quick. I'm not going to be on here long. Just wanted to give a couple tidbits. I think I'm gonna do when I'm doing this. I'm gonna start. I don't know if I want to call it a series or if I'm just calling it a like different parts of like how getting started with real estate, why, where is it good to start at, in like my perspective, and then like a general perspective, right? I don't know it all. I am reading, and the book is over there. It's a book by Bigger Pockets. Um, how to get started in real estate, I think is the name of it. Um, so I just started that book. So just gathering, like I said, more and more information. And then like I had went to like a real estate class and it gave me like the fundamentals. And in those fundamentals, I just want to kind of go dive into each kind of like each area just to give a general perspective of like the different things that you can do with real estate. And that was kind of like what that book talks about with how to get started with real estate. It gives like a really synopsis of the things that you can do, how you can do it, what you got to consider, how you need to look at things. And so that's what I'll also be talking about, just my perspective from um, processing everything that I'm trying to do. So like that's why I'm just trying to talk like my steps out that I'm doing, right? Because it's like picking and deciding what do I want, right? Which is part one. I call this part one because what is it that I know my camera's moving. I'm sorry, guys. What is it that I want? Um, where do I want to step into in real estate? And for me, it's I particularly like the buy and hold. Fix and flip for me would be cool if I wanted to keep getting capital, like fast money, right? Like you flipping a bird, but like flipping, flipping, stuff, um, flipping pancakes, whatever. But if you like getting in, getting out, that fix and flip is where it's at, right? But for, or like that wholesaling would be where it's at. For me, I don't want to get in and out now, and it's strange that I say that because in my day to day life, like my personal career, I had it was like two different tracks that you can. It was several different tracks, but it was like two main tracks that they were saying that when I got hired, and this was over 10 years ago, for this specific position. I've been on my job longer than that, but for this specific position, it was like 10 years ago, and the question was, "Hey, do you want to do long term working with the families, or do you want to be the type that get in and out?" and you might get one family here. Next couple days or next month or your next E-Day, you're gonna get another set of family. And I was like, I don't want to work that long with nobody. No, no, absolutely not. I do not want to be at nobody's kitchen table because they know me. Like, oh, this is my worker. We've been together for 3 years. Absolutely not. And when I did my training, I did it with long term. And when I did it with long term, which is OSR, ongoing service region, I was like, they was like, oh yeah, I had her for like 3 years. 3 years. And you okay with this person being in your life for the last 3 years? I mean, and some people felt like they needed long term help. Or maybe they did. I don't know. I just knew that I'm the type of person, I'm pretty self sufficient, right? I'm pretty rigorous in my real life. So I just, I had a bunch of women in my life that I seen push and get through. So therefore, and see, like the women in my life, and it was just so funny, but the women in my life that I seen fought each other, hear me out, about who got the best degree, who was getting a master's, who was getting a doctorate. That's what I seen. You understand what I'm saying? Like my aunts. Now my mom, she went to high school. She did not go to college, but she went to fashion school. So my mom was a wonderful um seamstress, right? She could sew anything. Like I got dresses, I remember pictures, everything. My mom used to make our clothes, right? So she was just the bomb. She was the teacher. She was and then she was a teacher, right? She was skipping kids from pre-K straight to first grade or straight to second grade, right? Like she had um it was like records, right? Kids parents was coming back like, yo, your mom, hey, my kid took the test and they went from kindergarten to like first or second grade. So like my mom had accolades, right? Okay. So I ain't worried about the fact that, she did what she did. Um, but my aunts and the other women in my life, my grandmother, my dad's mom, um, she degree. You understand what I'm saying? So I've seen like my aunts fight about who was going back to school and getting a master's, or I got two masters, or I got a doctorate, and this one was running her own business, and then this one was a pastor, and this one was an evangelist, and this like so that was the um dynamic of what I see. So to be working with somebody for 3 years, you're like, man, what is wrong? What is going on here? Something ain't right. And whatever juice you're drinking, I need you change it. Because there's no way that you over here with a case working for three longer than a few weeks. Okay, this is disrespectful to your life at this point. But some people like the support, some people like the help, some people don't have it, and I get it. I get it. Um, Nonetheless, let's get away from that. But I was always a person that wanted to get in and get out. And so when I'm looking at real estate, I've taken a different approach. I've taken the approach of holding, right? And it's like, ain't you with get in and get out, girl? Yeah, but I don't want to do that with this, right? So it's different for everybody. And so what your tolerance level is your tolerance level. And that's what I need you to understand, that some people have a tolerance level of like, this is too stressful. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to have that. I don't want blah, 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 blah. And over time, you're okay to change. And that's the good thing about real estate, because you could be flexible and be like, hey, I did this and I don't want to do this no more. I'm changing. And I've heard So many people say I'm changing, and I want bigger properties now, or I sold all of my smaller properties off. I got the capital, and I bought all larger multi properties, or I bought tall apartment buildings. People change how they feel any given time of the day, and so I think that's the part about real estate that I like because it's so flexible. You can become what you want. If you don't like the way that a strategy is going, you can find your exit out of that strategy and then find something else that you would like to do. And so that's the part of it that I enjoy. That's the part of it that I think is most fulfilling for me, is because yes, right now I feel like I want to buy and hold, but at any given time, if I feel like I'm overwhelmed or if I feel like I need extra capital, I can buy something, make sure the numbers make sense, make sure the property is right, and then I can flip, and then I get capital. And one of the strategies, I think my cousin and I, we kind of starting this journey. Well, she's kind of doing it before me, I think. But did I do it before her? And it just seems like, I don't know. I know I had my first property and I flipped it and I lived in it for a long time. So that's why it looks like she did it before me. I think I did it before her. I just didn't recognize that I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like she started getting into it, and I'm like asking her questions. I'm like, I already did it, not even realizing that I had did it already. Nonetheless, I still feel like she started before me because she's really did it in the investment space. And I big up to her because she's younger than I, but she's a strong young lady, and I love her. You know what I'm saying? She doing her thing. Nonetheless, she is definitely doing her thing, and just looking at it from from the perspective of trying to figure out what is the best strategy. And her and I were talking, and she kind of went back and was like, for she heard, I don't forget who she heard it from, but she was like, um, one of the things that she heard was like, when you need capital, say you figure out your strategy, right? Like buy three, hold. That fourth one you buy, flip it. Buy three more, hold that sixth one or seventh one you buy, flip it. So every three flip, it keeps you with some capital in your pocket. I said, "Ooh, that makes sense. That's a good one. I like that. I like that." So, well, that's all we're just trying to do, trying to find a strategy that works with us, that fits our need, fits what I want, um, and was conducive for my lifestyle, right? Because you always got to think about that. So one of the things that talking about being in a community, right? Finding out like when you're in a community and you in the area, what is going on in that area? I'm sorry, you guys. I got stuff on my face. I got Vaseline on my face. Y'all can see I'm all shining and everything, but I feel it. It's just silky. Okay. Um, what is like the community that you're in? When you're in a community, what does that community offer? What can you offer them? How can you be of some service, right? The whole thing is where I'm a solution to a problem. And what is the problem? The housing crisis is a big problem. Let me be a solution to the housing crisis. How can I navigate those things? How can I figure out how to be a solution? And that's where the strategy comes in at, because it's not always about my gain, my gain, my gain. Yes, my gain will ultimately come, my gain will ultimately happen. But what I need to understand is, what is the strategy of how can I be of service to other people? And that for me is one of the biggest things that I like, because I like helping. I love helping. I love helping. And so when I go to say I want to help somebody, when I want to say I want to help somebody, I want to help them all the way. I want to help them holistically. I want to help them from the top to the bottom, the side, the left, the right, everything. And so, what can I give as support to the community? How can people benefit from my housing or what I have to offer? How can they benefit from that? And so that's one of the things that you should always consider, always think about, always try to figure out how to navigate that space. Um, or try to figure out how to navigate that during this process of like me learning. One thing that I know, I remember like hearing it so vividly. It was just one day I just heard it was like, be a sponge. So I just kind of like adapted. I adapted that, which was like, people were like, well, what is in it for you? What is it that you want? And I was like, I just want to be a sponge. I just want to receive the information because people say things sometimes and they don't know that they said something and I caught it. Or they meant to say it. Let me take this out. They meant to say it, and when they said it, it was like, "Oh, enlightenment, enlightenment! I got it, I got it, I heard it, I heard it, I heard it with the inner ear. Like I heard it with that ear that's in the inside. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard it, heard it. It resonated with me, with my spirit, with my being, with me and God. It resonated. And so I heard what the person was saying. I didn't just hear them, I heard them. And in me hearing them, it gave me life, it gave me fire, it gave me fervor to be able to kind of be like, oh, move. This is what you do, this strategy. And it just kind of connected and this came like a lightning bolt. So I just my that's what I'm doing in this journey is being a sponge, gathering and tilling the ground, figuring out what do I need to do? How do I do this? Where do I go? What do I do? So and you have to be willing to be risky. You have to be willing to be risky. Risky is going to you have to have a level of risk that you're willing to take. And you can't not take the risks because you're afraid. You just can't. You can't be like, oh, I'm a little scared. And still take the risk. Because it all works out. Like if you have the mindset and you gotta change your mindset plays a big um role on like how you will succeed. Now things like give you an example, I have a property. It has a first place lien on it, and nobody wants to give me a loan because it has this additional lien on it. Now, granted, I'm gonna get this lien off. It's just some requirements that I have to do to get it off, and I'm not gonna ever go through that again. I had to figure out another strategy from the beginning so that I already have the money in place. That's one thing. But moving forward, in order to get this one, I had to navigate and move some things around. So I'm now working to get those things off. However, it's just like just trying to figure out the risk that's involved. I still had to move. I still had to look at it. Let me say it like this. I still had to move despite how I felt. I still had to move when it didn't look like it was going to work out. Right? In my mind, I'm like, God, I know you told me to do X, Y, and Z. I know I heard you buy this property, but now everything seems to be like at a plateau. But that don't mean I stop. Then I was just like, let's brainstorm again. Let's figure out another way to make this work. Let's figure out, okay, do it again. They told me no. Who said no? Okay, I'm gonna get my yes. And I'm going to keep going until I get my yes, right? I'm going to be on YouTube talking about it until I get my yes and then showing y'all videos of me having my house finished. So But I'm not taking the no. No just isn't just no just doesn't fly for me. Like I some things you have to take no, and I get that, but not no. Not all the time. You can't just accept that no. And that's the part you can't just accept it. You can't just accept someone saying, "Well, no, that's not. I can't give it to you, or that's not gonna." And then I'm just looking like it's never gonna happen. That's not how this is gonna be. No, I desire a different lifestyle. I desire to do something. And like in my life, everything I've always had to work a little bit harder than the average bear. Okay? I ain't that big as a bear, but I always had to work a little bit harder than the average. But nonetheless, me working a little harder, I appreciated it once it was done. And all glory went back to the creator. But I appreciate everything once it was all completed. That's the difference. It wasn't of my own self. It was a favor. It was the fact that he gave me good people to work with. And that's my prayer today. God, give me good, godly contractors. I don't want nobody that's going to play with me because I ain't playing with nobody. I'm trying to get this work done. I want to be able to be a blessing to somebody. I want to be able to say, okay, now do I sometimes be wanting like top dollar? Yeah. Do I want to be greedy? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do I want the best of the best? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I have to really sit back and be like, how can I be a blessing to somebody? How can I help somebody else? That's how am I a solution to a problem? I want to be somebody's solution. You got a housing issue? Let me help you. Let me figure it out. Come on, let's brainstorm. Don't do me dirty. I ain't doing you dirty. But no, that's that's one of the things. But being a sponge, definitely being a sponge, being willing to take a risk, and be willing to do what I need to do to get the job done. I think those are the three things. I might have said more than that, but those are the main three things to for part one. Like be willing to do what is needed to get the job done, and not only that, if you need help, go. Like I literally last Wednesday, I was at it's like every like once every month or something, or every other month. I was at a real estate event, not an event. It was an event, but he has these, and what he does is he hosts it, and we kind of talk out our issues, our problems. Really good. The spec group, really. So on Brian spec, talk out our issue, and like some people would troubleshoot, some people would like talk about what they got going on. It might be helpful for somebody else. You exchange numbers, and then it's a network, so it's like a little networking for like an hour and a half or what have you. And it's just always decent and dope. And last Wednesday was really good. I talked about the strategy that I was dealing with, and immediately it was like, oh girl, don't worry about that, you got this, you got that here, da, 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 da. And I felt like paper and pen, like, give me a second, write it down, write it down, write it down. And I was not the smartest person in the room. And I loved it. And I was what? A sponge. I was sponging it. I was like this, writing, 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 writing. And it was just, for me, that was lovely. Like I felt like, give me information. I want to just pull it all in. I want to just understand. I want to get the gist of it. I want to understand every aspect of it. And so that's where I was at. That's what I was doing. And it was very insightful, very wonderful. I don't even know if that even makes sense when I said it was very wonderful, but it was everything that I needed to like kind of help me navigate some strategy. And that's it. Sometimes it was like, yo, and then it was like, Oh, I need to be interning with somebody for real, like on some real rate. And then Ryan gave me something to do that I still need to do. I need to do it this week so I can send it to him. Like I told him I would, but I'll do it. I'm not going to hold off too late because my issue is I don't want to. I don't want to hold off. He asked me to do something, I'm gonna do it and turn it into him. Then we discuss. So, but be a sponge. Be willing to take the risk and be willing to do what needs to be done and be a solution to somebody's problem. Find a solution and have quality work. What's the worst that can happen? You succeed, or you dis- get disappointed in something. Figure that only should like give you motivation to like know how to not to be disappointed that way again, and then figure out another way. That's how I look at disappointment. Like, okay, yeah, now I'm not gonna say I don't get disappointed or I don't get frustrated. I'm just saying that when that happens, navigate it properly and learn from it. Learn from it. But that's it. I'm gonna hop off. Become a sponge. Be willing to take the risk. Be willing to do what you need to do to get it done. Be a solution. Yay. I love you guys. My main man is knocked out right here with Coco Melon Pillow. I think that's Coco Melon. I see a monkey. I think that's Coco Melon though. But y'all have a good night. My eyes are heavy and I don't even have my glasses on. And my hair had to come out because that bun was killing me. It was killing me softly. Um, y'all have a good night. Y'all see his y'all see his thing that he made right here. Why my fingers can't find it? Right, yep, right there. That's kids little um, my carpenter. My carpenter made that. But y'all have a good night. Night night.